Elder, for the sake of the Roselle, I've come to speak with you.
Lord Serenoa, I am not one to speak in metaphor and code. I bid you tell me precisely what...
Could this pink rock be the key?
Where did you find that?
So it is the key. What do you know of it?
Clearly I can deceive you no longer. I shall tell you everything.
What is this strange pink rock?
A simple taste shall tell you all you need to know.
My word, it tastes of salt. No, it is salt.
Truly, a rock of salt.
Indeed, it is. And the story behind it is a long one. This crystal before you was brought here by Lady Orlear.
My mother brought this? And you knew of this the whole time, Elder?
Yes, but the seeds of conflict ought not to be left in the sun where they are apt to grow. That was our decision.
Are there any other crystals like this?
There are. Lady Orlea spoke of a repository rife with salt, hidden somewhere in Norzelia.
And where might that somewhere be?
Unfortunately, I do not know. And I fear the knowledge passed with Lady Orlea herself.
Do you know anything about this, Lady Frederica? Anything at all? Did your mother ever mention these crystals to you before? It is imperative that you remember.
I apologize, but this is my first time hearing of them as well.
Calm yourself, Benedict. You're scaring the lass.
Calm myself. The very existence of this crystal changes the nature of our realm as we know it. If you have ever wondered why Hazant oppresses the Roselle or confines them to the source, this is your answer.
So they did it all to hide the existence of the repository and monopolize salt.
And not just that, anyone who finds that repository could reign over all Norzelia.
Would it really have so great an influence?
Salt is a divine boon, a gift from the goddess to her true believers. It is one of Hazant's fundamental beliefs, one that, due to their monopoly on both salt and the source, has appeared true all these years. But no longer. With this crystal alone, we can prove their doctrine false.
Revealing their absolute teachings to be mere fabrications would shake Hyzant to its very core.
There may be hope for us yet.
A report, my lord. Hyzant's army is on the horizon.
Lord Serenoa, if you would, I should like to be the one to speak to them.
Of course, Benedict. I leave the matter in your capable hands.
Lord Serenoa, how unfortunate it is for us to meet under such circumstances. But for disobeying the Holy One's order, I must strike you down.
Before that, Minister Exham, there is something we wish to show you.
It is a mere fragment of something we have discovered in this village. It is a crystal made entirely of salt.
What madness is this you speak? This is salt, indeed. But how is this possible?
It appears to have been passed down among the Roselle, and in a quantity large enough to rival the source.
Unbelievable.
Perhaps so, but we have proof. Salt can be found in places other than the sacred grounds beneath the goddess's feet. I am certain the implications do not escape you.
What is it that you want?
An audience with the Holy One, and a guarantee of safety for us and everyone in this village.
It would be a waste to dispose of both the crystal and House Wolford here. Very well then. I shall secure you an audience with the Holy One. And you have my word that the village will be safe from harm.
Thank you, Minister.
Oh, how I wish I could see the Holy One's face contorted so.
We owe our lives to this. A crystal of salt. Or salt crystal, shall we call it?
The Holy State's teachings are false. The goddess's blessings spread across all Norzelia. The blessings of the true goddess. The blessing that shall be the key to the chains that bind our people.
Can you imagine if crystals like this were hidden beneath the surface of Norzelia?
I cannot imagine Hyzant being blind to their existence. Salt is the lifeblood of their nation.
Agreed. Which leads me to believe that they have relentlessly oppressed the Roselle to hide it.
You intend to negotiate with the Holy One, then?
Correct. This time, we shan't fail. Not with this salt crystal in our hands. Hyzant will swear its support to us.
If their teachings are truly false, could you not ask them to free the Roselle at the source?
That is a risk we cannot afford to take. Our first priority is rebuilding Wolford. Without it, we cannot even hope to protect our own Rosellan village. I do hope you understand.
I see. I suppose you are right.
And what will you do once granted those privileges, Benedict?
What will I do?
I tire of being made to decide like this time and time again. Don't you, Serenoa?
I do. Our choices grow ever harder, each time piercing me deeper.
It's time we decide what to do for ourselves. I wish to reclaim Glenbrook. With Hyzant beside us, we can defeat Esfrost. So when we meet, I will ask the Holy State to go to war with us.
House Wolford protects the Roselle in defiance of the Holy One's orders. Hyzant sends an army to punish Wolford for their disobedience. Cornered though they may be, Serenoa and his comrades discover a crystal of salt, hidden in the Rosellan village. Benedict leverages its very existence in negotiations with the opposing General Exum and succeeds. The crystal holds the power to change not only Hyzant, but the entire land of Norzelia. With it in hand, Serenoa goes to meet the Holy One.
Are you certain it's wise to return to Esfrost alone, Your Grace? You are needed here.
If Sycris's missive is to be believed, I'm afraid matters are far too grave to be left to anyone else. Svarog's deception is nearing its climax. His ill-gotten profits are being used to build a weapon of untold destructive power.
Our anonymous source from the manufactory hinted at as much. Svarog is bold to have carried out his plan this far.
We mustn't forget the matter of the explosion sighted in the Wolford domain. We must make his precious death knell ours, and soon.
Death knell? What's that?
Let the adults speak, my dear.
If we're to be wed, then there should be trust between us. How long do you intend on treating me like a child?
Very well. Tell her, Thalos.
If you insist, brother. This weapon combines the powerful explosives developed by Dragan with Esfrost's mastery of steelcraft. Although yet to be tested, this cannon is said to have the power to breach even Hyzant's walls. The goddess's shield would buckle under a single blast.
But the shield is impregnable.
I have heard nothing of this. Do you think so little of your general?
A general is to win me victory, as and when I command it.
Svarog's intent isn't to bring Hyzant to heel, however. He means to use the cannon against Brother. But the fool was so blinded by ambition that he never saw the strings guiding his every deed.
Fool that he may be, he served his purpose well. The cannon could not have been made without his engineers and Dragan's research. He will die secure in the knowledge that his bloodline contributed to the glory of Esfrost. Sadly, he shall not live to see his work completed. With it, we shall do what our forebears could not. The goddess's shield shall yield before Esfrost's might and ingenuity.
If we can even approach the walls, brother, the trade embargo will ensure that Hyzant is especially wary of our actions.
On the contrary, their focus will turn inward. With naught else to leverage their influence with, they will take measures to see that none of their precious salt escapes their borders. There may be some gnashing of teeth, to be sure, but it will only be in an attempt to hide their inner turmoil. Erica, muster a force and march to the Hierophant's palace at once. Deliver to Hyzant my final demands.
As you wish, brother. I shall gather what news I can of the Saintly Seven's machinations.
Thalas, you will remain in Glenbrook. Conduct yourself as if I had never left.
You hardly need to ask, brother.
That is all. Now go.
Even his own flesh and blood are but tools to be used and then discarded when their purpose is served.
He has faith only in himself. Such has ever been his way.
Esfrost and Glenbrook remained strong after declaring a trade stop with Hyzant. Gustadolf sends Erica to Hyzant to deliver his ultimatum, and dispatches an army to Glenbrook to increase the pressure on the Holy State. Hyzant, under the banner of Prince Roland, sends Minister Serenoa Wolfort of the Saintly Seven to prepare for retaliation. Softly but surely, Norzelia descends into war once more.
Those are the Archduke's wishes. I implore you not to forget that this is his final offer.
You wish to lend us Hyzant's new weapon?
Yes, it was a directive from the Holy One. The weapon is one Minister Lila developed in secret.
I compressed a vast quantity of magic into crystal form. We call this weapon Elfric. The blast crystals have yet to be perfected, but they can decimate a castle wall easily enough. You saw what Minister Exham did to this fort, did you not?
So those purple flames were from your crystals, this Elfric you speak of.
We thank you for your support.
Be forewarned that their power makes him unwieldy in an average battle.
They are not meant to be used on people. Furthermore, we are only giving you a single blast crystal.
Regardless, I am certain it will come in handy while recapturing Whiteholm Castle.
Its incomplete nature makes it regrettably tricky to use, but Milo should be able to take care of that for you. Use them both wisely. I am Milo.
a dancer by trade, but assistant to the Saintly Seven on occasion. I shall serve you, Minister Serenoa, until we reclaim the capital.
You sure you'll be okay?
You needn't worry. It isn't my first time flirting with danger.
A Hyzantian spy?
Very likely.
The blast of the Elfric should help you catch the enemy unawares. Both my army and Minister Camsel's will join in the attack. Can we entrust command to you, Minister Serenoa?
Most certainly. And the crystal will be key in our plan to reclaim Glenbrook.
You have made a grave error in allowing thieves to raid the archives, Constable.
Benedict asked me to scout out Teleorn where the Esfrosti soldiers are stationed. But I hardly see any around. Why did he ask me to come here in the first place? I doubt it would matter in reclaiming the capital. But orders are orders. I should report back.
Ah, tidings from Erica. She says Hyzant refused our final offer.
You seem surprised. There was no way Hyzant would agree to open the source.
I know that, but the negotiations were meant to buy us time. Yet it seems their soldiers are already on the move. Damn it all! This wasn't supposed to happen.
I apologize, but are you suggesting we destroy the dam around Teleor Reservoir to start a flood?
The capital city was built on the banks of the Norzelia River. Breaking the dam surrounding Lake Teleor upstream will allow us to submerge a majority of the city. Flooding the town will throw their army into disarray, which should allow us to take the place by storm.
Lake Teleor is a man-made reservoir. You might be able to burst through with a blast crystal.
Huette scouted the area earlier and reported seeing very few sentries. Proof enough that this is outside the Archduke's calculations.
No. The damage will be too great. The means would not justify the end, Benedict.
We cannot afford to lose.
I agree with Roland. There is already far too much blood on our hands. Perhaps it's worth speaking with the people and gaining their understanding.
Unless we reclaim Glenbrook, it's unlikely they'll understand or support our actions. We must take the capital back and show our strength and resolve first.
So that means you stand by Benedict then?
If we have a sure shot at winning, we need to take it, no matter the consequences. We can't lose the war. We just can't.
Teleor Reservoir is the kingdom's water source. The dam was constructed to protect the people from floods. I doubt they would ever forgive us should we choose to destroy it for war.
Glenbrook thrives because of that water, and to use it otherwise is inexcusable. Brute strength isn't the only way to reclaim the city. We can strike at night and defeat their commanding officers. There are ways to slip into the castle unseen.
If you have used it before, there is a chance it has been sealed off since.
There is more than one route. You needn't worry.
So you mean not to use the blast crystal?
No, I do. After we sneak in, we can sink Esfrost's warship. It would close off their escape route.
Our first priority should be ensuring the people's safety. We cannot allow them to be taken hostage. It would restrict our options as well.
She's got a point. But how do we take the capital back after that?
We could use the blast crystal to destroy the bridge connecting the town and the castle. The enemies would be stuck within the walls.
That would certainly mitigate the damages to the citizens. If we encircle the castle, we could negotiate with them.
We could ask them to yield, free Glenbrook, and re-establish the trade between our nations. I am certain we can find a way to make both parties agree.
Negotiate?
I understand your thoughts and the wishes held therein.
Allow me to ask once more. Shall we shatter the dam around Lake Telior and flood the town? Sneak in under the guise of night, sink their ships, and slay their commanding officers? Or destroy the bridge, safeguard the people, and negotiate with the enemy? Fetch the scales. It is time we decide our bet. Aye, lad.
Tough spot.
My lord.
Yes, sir. Yes. I must hear what the others think.
Say. Still, a hard choice.
Good point. I have chosen.
It is time to cast our votes. In which strategy do we entrust? Approach the scales of conviction with your token. I believe in you.
On this, I cannot be swayed.
I agree. I changed my mind.
I'm with you.
The way forward is decided. We collapse the bridge and trap the enemy within the castle, keeping the common folk safe from the worst of the fighting.
You will safeguard the people, drive the enemy into the castle, and negotiate. You have chosen a righteous path, Wolford. But do you really think negotiations will prevail? Such sympathy may be your downfall.
Even so, this is the path we have chosen.
Then walk tall. It is time to test your mettle. I must return to Hyzant and see Minister Kamsel. Next we meet, you will have both of our armies at your backs.
You have my thanks.
We cannot afford to lose this fight. For Norzelia.
I thought this battle was for Glenbrook.
This is not a simple struggle for power, Minister Sereno. The goddess, the source, iron? The war of 30 years ago comes back to haunt us because the old cling to relics of the past. Norzelia needs to be born anew. Right now, the people of every nation are searching for a young standard-bearer to guide them.
A standard-bearer?
Yes, people like you and me. This war is a fine opportunity for us to show our worth to Norzelia.
House Wolfort and Hyzant join forces and begin planning Glenbrook's recapture. But with the Norzelia River and the Esfrosti armies in their way, retaking the capital will be no easy feat. Frederica proposes they destroy the bridge linking the castle to the rest of the capital, isolating the enemy and forcing them to parley. Though it may draw out the conflict, it is well worth it if they can avoid causing suffering to the people. Serenoa and the others agree to the plan. In support of House Wolford, Hyzant's great army marches forth for the first time since the Salt Iron War.
The Hyzantian forces should be arriving any moment, Frederica.
Well then, let us make them welcome.
My lady, are you certain this is the path you desire? We are to battle against your people, against Thalos and Erica.
I am keenly aware of that.
Of course you are. But simply understanding a thing doesn't mean you are ready to face it. A single second's hesitation on the battlefield could cost you your life.
Worry not. I shall prevail against any who stand against me, even my siblings.
To try and save them?
No, to save myself. And to save House Wolford.
Minister Serenoa, Minister Camsell, and myself have brought what troops we could muster.
I'm grateful for your assistance.
It was an arduous journey. Is there anywhere the soldiers could rest?
We've prepared barracks at the harbor. Please use them freely.
You do think of everything.
Hyzant has not mobilized a force so large since the Salt Iron War. Yet I hear you intend to settle this not by battle, but by parley. The Holy One will not agree to any half-hearted measures.
The pressures of a large army on the capital's threshold is part of our plan. Come inside and I will explain the rest.
General, House Wolford and Hyzant have joined forces. There are indications their armies intend to march upon the capital.
Which direction will they come from?
We cannot yet be certain.
Close the city gates and rally the garrisons. I want the way to the castle completely blockaded.
And we ought to consider their attack from the river. House Wolford knows very well how difficult this castle is to take. I doubt they think to capture it with a direct assault.
Indeed. Hyzantian soldiers are used to desert conditions. Doubtful they'd be keen to engage us in a marine battle. Though acting on that assumption and sending all our troops to defend the land route does leave a vulnerability the enemy could exploit. Send a party to scout along the riverbanks, then have them report to the harbor and ready our ship.
Yes, General.
White beat around the bush. We have the soldiers, we should strike and end them.
It's best to avoid open battle. With the capital and Whiteholm under our control, we have the advantage.
All that tells me is you're frightened of Wolfort.
There is no enemy safe not to fear. A leader's hubris is the death of her soldiers.
Frederica is attacking us. What does it matter how many soldiers die? I command you to kill Frederica, Avlora.
Personal grudges have no place in the battlefield.
Silence! Gustadolf entrusted us with the castle's protection in his absence. Noble as frosty blood flows through our veins. How dare you order us about?
You do well to remember what you are, Aurora. A simple orphan who doesn't even know her true name.
Yet it is this simple orphan in charge of our army. Insult me all you like. I will not allow open battle.
Obstinate woman. No matter. The reinforcements our brother sent are under our command.
I shall lead soldiers into the capital myself and crush Wolfort's forces when they arrive.
Is this the Esfrost I am to defend?
General Avlora.
My spies have ascertained the situation at the capital. The bulk of the enemy is holed up in Whiteholm Castle. Right now, they don't seem to be very active.
And what of the common folk?
Their daily lives progress apace. It seems the enemy has yet to notice our movements.
Perfect conditions to execute Lady Frederica's plan. If the people are at ease, we should be able to seize the capital without resorting to all-out battle.
Thank goodness.
Then let's review the plan. First, my retinue shall take a small vessel to Whiteholm Castle and destroy the bridge.
Are you certain you want to go by yourselves? We could lend you some soldiers.
The fewer of us there are, the less likely we are to be spotted. We'll manage. We'll have the blast crystal.
Oh yes, a bridge like that'll come falling down pretty easy. You'll see.
The explosion will be your signal to march into the capital and keep the people calm.
Without using force, yes. I shall impress upon my soldiers they are not to act rashly.
Thank you, Minister.
As for you, Minister Campsell, we'd like you to take command of the naval forces to blockade the castle.
Very well. I can't say I'm much experienced in marine warfare, but I'll do my best.
Destroy the bridge, capture the town, blockade the river, isolate the enemy in the castle, and turn that impregnable fortress into their prison.
Once they're trapped, they'll have no choice but to parley with us and release their stranglehold on Glenbrook.
I hope you're right. A word of caution before we begin. Prince Roland, you are aware they will likely use Queen Cordelia as leverage when the time for parley comes? But no matter what pressure they apply, we cannot allow them to break us, should the worst come to pass.
I understand. I do not expect the fight to regain control of our kingdom to be painless.
Good. We have our plan. Now we must act upon it.
Then we shall depart at once, until we meet again in the capital.
Farewell, and good luck to us all.
Erica, Thalis, I cannot put off fighting them any longer.
My, you're certainly calm for someone about to be sold off in the morrow.
Sold off? You would compare my marriage into House Wolfort to trading coin for flesh. Why, I am to be a beacon of allyship, a bridge between our two lands.
Yes, yes. So tell me, dear, how do you plan on seducing the Wolfort boy? Wait, let me guess. You'll use the same charms your mother did on our father.
Oh, enough cajoling, Erica. You're apt to make her cry. And Frederica, you know you don't have to take such abuse in silence, don't you? In any case, you seem to be under the impression that you've been entrusted with some crucial task. That couldn't be further from the truth. This is only to get you out of the way, same as your mother. You're no use to anyone in Esfrost.
But you already know that, don't you?
Well, every happiness to you, dear sister.
The world I knew before was so very limited. No matter what awful thing happened to me, I believed I could do nothing but suffer in silence. But staying quiet in the face of injustice is tantamount to condoning it. I needed to stand up and fight for myself. Becoming part of House Wolfort was the best thing to ever happen to me. Erica, Thalas, I'm done running.
In the dead of night, a small ship slips silently into Whiteholm Castle. Aboard are none other than the elite Wolford fighters, led by Serenoa himself.